News 5 at 6.
New at 6, Mississippi and the movies. For more than 2 decades now, the Oxford Film Festival has annually served up a storied weekend of cinema for movie lovers and makers alike.
And this year, the Magnolia State itself got top billing on the big screen. Kim Clark has the story.
With its iconic locations and authentic voices, Mississippi has long influenced American storytellers in fiction and film. Thus, the theme of this year's Oxford Film Festival, stories that shape us.
Like, there's certain cultural experiences that we have that has a bit of nuance to it. Even when we're talking about the black church, right? And going into a southern space, a southern home, right? The cooking, the smell of it, the themes, that's all embodying of the South. You know, that always makes for a compelling story. But with all those cultural elements, there's still a heartbeat. There's still a sense of humanity.
Becca Finley helped pick more than 75 selections this year for a 4-day festival that brings in hundreds of independent filmmakers and fans.
And so this year, we really wanted to honor storytellers and the transformative experience. Does it have the ability to take an audience and make them leave the theater and ask a question?
Mary Elizabeth Ellis, born and raised in Laurel, Mississippi, has spent the past 2 decades telling stories on big and small screens in projects like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, alongside her husband Charlie Day, and last year's blockbuster Red One with Chris Evans and The Rock. These days, she's promoting her directorial debut, the short film Last to Leave.
Last to Leave is about sort of the loneliness epidemic that's happening in the world these days. You know, we have a hard time connecting with people in real life, but this is one night in a bar in Los Angeles, and these 2 women come in and everyone connects, but then it goes sideways because you don't always get what you want.
Though she moved to LA in the early aughts, Ella says her Southern sense of community has always influenced her art.
I think the biggest lesson is filmmaking is not a solo venture. You cannot do it by yourself. You have to have other people that when you go, I don't know if I can do this, they kick you in the butt and go, you can do this. We're behind you. We're going to help you do this.
Creative effect aside, when it comes to actually making movies in Mississippi, production incentives can't compete with those on the East and West coasts. Stand by. Even Georgia and Louisiana rank higher for tax breaks when cameras roll. That's why festivals like this one, in its 22nd year, program more than just film features. Panelists provided feedback on financing, finding an audience, and forming connections to make Mississippi movies happen.
You know, we are a state that is not super funded in a lot of different ways, and I feel like everyone that's really working towards film incentives are hustling, and they're being, as people in Mississippi and the South tend to be, very magnanimous and very giving.
A common theme in any good Southern story. At the Oxford Film Festival, I'm Kim Clark. Lights, camera, action. News 5.